Sorry, episode interruption. I was bumping the mic cord at some points, so it sounds funny, but you can still understand me and it goes away, I promise. And I don't want to record that much, so sorry. Enjoy anyway. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crocheting Through Medical History. Housekeeping. I am still sick. I have a sinus infection, so I'm now on antibiotics, but my throat and nose are still not happy, so I will try to not sound sick. I was going to drink tea to make it a bit better, but I ate so much chili for dinner that I did not have room for tea. I also may be burping a lot because of the way too much chili that I ate. So, thank you for being here. Even with all that, I'll try to make it bearable. Secondly, I just realized I have the wrong hook size. So don't mind me gonna dig through my hooks real fast. Let's see. While I'm doing that, I today am crocheting a little uterus. I asked on Instagram what people thought I was making or what the topic was with me making a uterus. I've lost the end to my yarn. Where did it go? I just had it. There it is. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's not it. Things are going really well so far. This is how my day has gone. Thank you for joining me for just the chaos. There it is. Okay, I found it. We can move on now. I asked on my Instagram what people thought I was talking about with uterus as the project, and I got PCOS and endometriosis, and those are both good things that I have on my list, but it is not today. But I'm not going to tell you yet, even though you know already because you read the title. So I'm going to talk about this uterus. I'm going to be following a pattern by, got burp. Maybe not. Okay. I'll be following a pattern by Nicole Marie of nickelcreekstitches.com. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't even know. There's the burp. I don't even know how big it's going to be. Maybe a cat toy like the zebra. Hopefully not, because I actually tried to follow a pattern this time. And also, Ponyo ate that toy within like 3 days. So that's my bad. We're gonna try to not do that again. But it's by Nicole Marie. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good now. Let's start doing it. So, today we are going to be talking about premature ovarian insufficiency, or POI. It also can be POF, premature ovarian failure, or instead of premature, it can be primary. It can be called a lot of things. It also, I think people talk about it interchangeably with premature menopause, but it's not the same thing. I don't think. I honestly could not tell because my articles were giving me conflicting messages, but I'm gonna call it just POI. All right, so POI is a condition that can occur in women under the age of 40 when their ovaries stop functioning properly. Its incidence is about 1% in women under the age of 40, 0.1% in women under the age of 30, and 0.01% in women under the age of 20. So it is not common. So that also means there's not super good history on it, but I did my best. And this is less history and more just talking about what it is. But that's fine sometimes. It's okay. Also, since there is not as much history and more just talking about what POI is, I do want to just disclaimer that I'm not a medical professional. This is for funsies, and I try to research accurately and correctly, but I don't have medical training. I'm not an expert in this field or any of these fields that I talk about. It's just for fun. Don't take it. Don't take me too seriously. Is basically it. So, moving on to the history part. POI was first noticed in the 1930s when young women were having abnormal absence of menstruation. There's a burp. And I misread that sentence anyway, so it's a good time to start over. POI was first noticed in the 1930s when young women with the abnormal absence of menstruation were found to have higher levels of ovary produced hormones excreted in their urine. In the 1940s, this urinary hormone level was linked to ovarian cellular changes that are associated with menopausal women. So the cause of POI is to this day only moderately understood. But the research that I found spanned from the 1900s to 2010. So a very large range, and I'll let you know sort of what it is about. So one of the causes can be genetics, can be a genetic disorder due to rare genetic mutations. Some of these genetic mutations are thought to be so rare that they can't even find them. So those cases are classified as idiopathic, which means we don't know what causes them. And genetics seem to be the most researched cause of POI, but I'm still burnt out of genetics after the EDS episode. So I'm not going to go as deep into them as I could. But yeah, there's something about X chromosomes and FMR1 genes, and I just could not even try to make sense of those at the when I was researching, so I didn't. You're welcome. But another cause of POI can be certain autoimmune disorders. The most understood one is lymphocytic uveitis, which is inflammation of the ovaries caused by lymphocytes, which are white blood cells, that attack the ovarian cells. I lost my place. There we are. Anti-ovarian antibodies, which are self-explanatory. Antibodies your body makes that fight against your ovary, are roughly associated with POI, but their correlation isn't fully known. It's not clear. The antibodies could be a cause of POI, or they could be a byproduct of it. Either of those makes sense, but research is not conclusive about which one it is. So that's fun. Women with POI have genetic. I missed a word. That chili is coming to get me. My goodness. I'm so sorry that it's so chaotic, by the way. I do not have the mental capacity and the emotional capacity right now to try super hard. So I'm not. And I think that's okay because I'm still doing it and I'm having fun and I'm still, getting the word out there for POI. I did try when I was researching. I'm just not trying super hard right now. And also this yarn that I'm using is so soft, and it is a very nice sensory experience on my fingers that have been getting yarn burned recently. So I'm just enjoying that. One moment, I'll be back. I need a quick break. Okay. So I drank some water. I crocheted around. I took some deep breaths. I yawned and I'm still yawning. Goodness. Hopefully this will be more bearable. I'm trying to tone it down a bit, at least. So, some women with POI. Oh my gosh, that already went so bad. I lost my place and got so confused. So, try to. Some women with POI have a genetic endocrine disorder known as autoimmune polyglandular syndrome, or APS. 60% of these women with APS 60% of women with type 1 APS have POI, and 4% with type 2 have POI. Both types of APS have a component of Addison's disease, though, meaning that adrenal glands don't produce enough hormones. And 10% of all women with Addison's disease also have POI, which leads researchers to think that the negative autoimmune response to the ovaries and the adrenals may be linked. Other autoimmune disorders that have been linked to autoimmune POI are hypothyroidism, hypoparathyroidism, diabetes mellitus, hypophysitis, chronic candida. Pronunciation is not my strong suit today. Chronic candidiasis. There we go. Idiopathic thrombocytopenia. Oh, nope. Idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Vit, vitiligo. I told myself I was going to look up how to say that, and I did not. Whoopsies. But the skin thing, where there's different collagen levels, so there's different colors. That thing. Alopecia, autoimmune hemolytic anemia, pernicious anemia, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, Sjogren's syndrome, primary biliary cirrhosis, and chronic active hepatitis. We did it. Phew. Okay. POI can also be iatrogenic or caused by medical interventions. Radiation and chemotherapy are the most common iatrogenic causes of POI. Oocytes, which are specific ovarian cells, are extremely radiosensitive. So, as cancer treatment becomes more successful throughout time, POI is becoming more common in female cancer survivors due to the detrimental impact of treatments on their ovaries, which is okay because they're alive. So that's good. It's an unfortunate side effect, but we're glad that cancer treatment is getting better at killing cancer. So it's a win-lose there. For chemotherapy or radiation-induced POI, spontaneous return of ovarian function has been seen. However, this is seen more in women that were younger when they underwent their treatment. And in these, even in the women that they do regain ovarian function, their probability of miscarriages and stillbirths increases if they have a history of POI. So that is sad. Obviously still not super well researched as to why the function comes back, but it can. I'm gonna stop crocheting for now because it came to a point where I had to actually count and that ain't happening. So we're going to set that down and just read. So it's going to be better for everybody. Okay. So POI can be caused by various infections, most commonly mumps, oophouritis, but ovarian function is likely to return after recovery from these infections. Known bacterial and viral infections that can cause POI are tuberculosis, varicella, cytomegalovirus, malaria, and Shigella. These other possible factors linked to POI are smoking and epilepsy. I didn't know where to throw that in, so I just put it there, even though those aren't viral or bacterial. They're there. Since the various portions of the endocrine system are so correlated, it is unsurprising that POI often leads to other health conditions, especially if it is left untreated. Low estrogen levels, which estrogen is produced in the ovaries. I think I did not fact check that. Pretty sure estrogen is produced in the ovaries. That would make sense. But low estrogen levels can lead to heart disease or stroke due to the decreased cholesterol metabolism. More burps. As well as that, inadequate levels of estrogen can lead to lowered bone mineral density, which increases the risk of fractures. Also, declined cognitive function and Alzheimer's disease are seen in estrogen deficient women. And all these conditions, uh, all these conditions, though, can be limited or prevented with proper hormone therapy and a healthy lifestyle. So they're not necessarily going to happen. There are things that can help prevent the probability if you do have POI, but you're still prone to it if you have a history of POI. So unsurprisingly, infertility is a major consequence of POI. Up to 25% of people diagnosed with POI will ovulate spontaneously, but only 5 to 10% of people with POI will successfully conceive and deliver a child after their diagnosis. Thankfully, though, children born from women with idiopathic POI don't seem to have a higher risk of obstetric or neonatal fatality. So if you have the baby, it is probably going to be fine. So that's good. Like most of this research so far, this is a history of POI, which I'm about to go into, but it's just another aspect of it. People with POI have a high likelihood of experiencing depression and other mental illness symptoms, even up to 5 years before they are diagnosed. So, if you, whether you have POI or not, are experiencing any symptoms of depression or mental illness, please talk to a therapist or a medical professional. Get some help. Talk to your friends. Know that you're loved and you're not alone, and you are not defined by by your health or what your body can or cannot do. I wrote that earlier in the week, but I actually really needed to hear that myself today. So I hope you did too. Whether you're chronically ill or not, or if you have POI or not, that doesn't define you, and you're loved, and your worth is not from your body. So don't let it become it, your worth in your mind, because it's wrong. Anyway, that's all I got on that. Thank you to the Frontiers in Cell and Developmental Biology. That's an organization. And authors Seungju Chan, Zobia Umer, and Misup Yoon for the article that I got a lot of this information from. Since POI is a relatively newly discovered condition and not widely known, I couldn't find any historical figures with it. There were some with just premature menopause, but I didn't want to go spouting that into it since it's not sure that it's POI. And I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever going to find historical figures with any of these conditions. Possibly not. The segment may need to leave, but I'm going to keep trying for now. Just going to keep looking. May or may not talk about it later. May or may not ever actually find anyone, but we're going to keep trying. Thank you also to my mom for suggesting POI as a topic, as well as being open about her experience with POI in supporting medical advocating for POI and all other rare or misunderstood conditions. Thank you also to her for teaching me how to be a medical advocate for myself, even if it is unfortunate that it came from her own experience. It is nice to have grown up knowing that someone was advocating for me, and then to be able to do that for myself. So thank you, Mom. I love you. Moving on. As always, follow me on Instagram at Crocheting Through History, where I post pictures of my crochet process and my final products. I've been working on some cool stuff. I'll get around to post it eventually. I haven't yet, but I'll get around to it. Maybe. But I do post there. Crochet and podcast related. You can also suggest topics or projects there, or you can just silently lurk and not say anything, and I won't be offended. That's okay. I think it's a nice page. There's some cute stuffed animals that you can look at there right now. And sometimes you get to see Ponyo and Gimli just hanging out with yarn. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy. Come back next week on Thursday for another episode of Crocheting Through Medical History. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about yet or what I will be making, but it'll be fun, I am sure. And I hopefully will not be sick and be making gross, sick noises as I record. My voice is getting very froggy. And I'm trying to hide it, but I cannot anymore. So I'm gonna go. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good night, day, morning, whatever. Have a good time. Okay, bye.